Welcome to this fun practice where we're going to be playing with Wild Thing. So the idea here is to be wild and free, to be open-hearted, and just to have fun. We're going to focus on a lot of shoulder opening and hip strengthening and just overall kind of that feeling of being wild and free. So first, let's start by closing our eyes and just focusing on your breath for a moment. Feel the fullness of the breath as you inhale, expanding your inner body, massaging your internal organs. And as you exhale, just relax and let go. No expectations. And just focus on your breath for a few more breaths. And gently open your eyes and let's come onto our hands and knees and tabletop. Grip the mat with your fingers so you feel like a pull, like you're pulling energy up from the earth up into your shoulders. And start to circle around your hands. And if you want a little more challenge, you could come up onto your finger pads or stay with your hands flat on the floor. You really want to hug in so that your middle knuckles are bent. You're not right directly over the fingernails, but just behind the fingernails. Switch the direction of your circles. Good. Now turn your fingers out to the side and either bring the wrists together or keep them apart. Together is a little more stretch, and begin to rock towards your fingertips. And then circle around the wrists. Again, keep the hands nice and active. Reverse the circles. Now either stay here or spin your fingers towards your knees. Closer is easier, farther away is more of a stretch. And again, begin to rock towards your fingers and back away. And lift your hands up, flip your hands so the palms are facing up. And if this is too uncomfortable for you, you could make fists with your hands, and with the knuckles together, you could straighten your arms and then bend back and forth. So your choice. We just want to stretch out the top of the wrist. Walk your hands forward if you want a little more stretch, or sink your hips back a little bit more. Good, and then place your hands down again, and this time just lift the heels of your hands up and lower. So you're lifting and lowering, feeling what it's like to have weight more in your fingers than in the heel of your hand. And now with your hands down, begin to circle your rib cage. Moving the ribs to the left, up toward the sky, over to the right, and towards the earth. And reverse the direction of your circles. Sit back on your heels and lean back. See if you can lift your knees up. Maybe find a little balance here. And you can lower your knees down. And if you have a block and you want to use it, you could place it under your hand here. Otherwise, place your hand down, lift your hips up, and then send your hips forward and reach your arm back. So I'm up on my fingertips. It helps to be a little bit higher and open up across the chest. Keep your legs nice and strong and use your glutes to support your back. And lower your hips down and switch sides. So pressing up and then forward, maybe opening your chest toward the sky. Nice. Lower back down. Bring your hands forward. And we'll do some cat-cows. Feeling that full movement of your spine. Then sit back on your heels again. Reach your arms up and interlace your fingers. Reach the palms up toward the sky. And release your hands, bend your right elbow, bring your left arm out to the side, and begin to internally and externally rotate your shoulder. Next time your shoulder is internally rotated, bring your elbow by your back, bend your elbow, reach your hands up, maybe your hands touch. Keep your head pressing back into your hands and puff your back up into your arms a little bit if you're starting to arch. If not, if you're already kind of rounded, you could just think of lifting up through your chest. And release your hands, float your arms up again, and with the opposite pinky to the outside, the one that's going to feel weird, press your palms up. Reach, 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 reach until your arms get close to your ears. And release your hands, bring the right hand behind you, bend the left elbow and reach your hands up towards each other. Pressing your head back. Trying to keep a nice long, straight-ish spine, so not a big back bend, but like an opening up here. And then release your arms, interlace your hands behind your back and reach your arms out and back. And release your hands, float your hands up again, press up through the palm of your hands. And keeping the wrists flexed, open your arms out to the side. Then walk your hands forward, tuck your toes, press back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale back, down dog. Inhale forward to plank again. Exhale back to your down dog. Inhale forward to plank. This time lower your knees down, coming into tabletop. Bring your right hand out to the right a little bit. Point your right toes. Your right foot can be out to the side or it can be in line with your knee. Stretch your left leg back, lift your hips up, and reach your arm up and over. Maybe even gaze up toward the sky. Then we'll bring the left hand down, same thing. So reach the right leg back. Your left foot can be out to the side or in line. We'll lift your hips up and over and maybe gaze up toward the sky. And again, back to the right side. Just take your time, find a big opening. And back to the left side. Right leg stretches out, right side expands. You can even flex your feet into the floor, your toes into the floor to give you a little more stability. And one more time each side. Back over to the left. Now we'll come back to the right, extend the left leg, but this time float your left leg up, float your arm up. And then reach your arm forward, and as you swing back, grab your knee, slide your hand down to your foot, and kick back. Come on back down, bring your left hand out to the side, reach your right leg back, open up. And lift your right leg up, your right arm up. And swing the arm forward, bring it back to your knee, slide back to your foot, and kick back, open up. Come back into tabletop and back into downward facing dog. You can bend your knees here, just move around. Exploring your wild side. Bring the knees back down. Lift your right leg up. Flex out through your big toe and your heel. And swing your leg over to the right. Look over your right shoulder at your left foot. Now tuck the right toes. Lift your right knee up and stretch your hips back. And then we're just going to spin on the right foot, bringing weight into the right hand. Open up, wild thing. And come on back down into your tabletop. Again, just move around here. And stretch the left leg back, pressing into your big toe mound and reach out through your heel. Float your leg up, swing it over to the left. Looking over your left shoulder at your right foot. tuck your back toes, lift the left knee off the floor. And then lean into the left hand, spin on your feet, open up, wild thing. And come on back down into your downward facing dog. So we're going to play, we're going to really get into wild thing, coming into it from all different places. Inhale, reach your right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, step your foot all the way forward. Lower your left knee down and twist to the right. And lower your right hand down and twist to the left. Bring your left hand back down again. Lift your back knee up, spin on your foot, and step your right foot behind you. Open up, wild thing. And come on back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, hip to heel, heel to hip. Step your foot forward. Lower the right knee down and twist to your right. Lower the right hand down and twist to the left. Lower the left hand down, twist. Right hand down, twist to the left. Pick your right knee up and spin around and step your left foot behind you, coming into wild thing. And come back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, step all the way forward, coming into warrior two. Little mosquito there. Press into your legs. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Cartwheel your arms and step your left foot, right foot back into wild thing. Open up. And back to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, bend your knees, step forward, coming into warrior two, open up. Reach back to reverse your warrior. And we'll cartwheel the arms, stepping back into wild thing. And back to downward facing dog. So you can invent as many variations as you want, going from one pose into wild thing. So we'll play with pigeon to wild thing. So inhale, reach your right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, bring your weight forward, pull your knee forward, coming into pigeon. And adjust your legs, whatever feels good. Inhale, open up through your heart, and exhale, bow. And find those pigeon waves. And maybe bow toward the ground. If this is comfortable for you, you can always place a blanket or a pillow underneath your right hip. You could lean more into the right side, but you could also play with leaning from one side to the other side. We'll stay here for another breath. And walk your hands back. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee off the floor, and just swing the front leg all the way around and back, coming into wild thing. And back to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, bring your leg all the way forward for pigeon. Maybe do some gentle rocking from side to side. And find your pigeon waves. Making the movement very organic and fluid with a little hint of wildness. And next time you can lower down, bringing your chest closer to your leg, closer to the floor. Make any little minor adjustments that will feel good to you. And walk your hands back. We're going to flip over into wild thing. So lift the back knee up, swing the top leg around, open up. And back to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg up. Exhale, step forward, coming into warrior two. Reach back to reverse your warrior. And then straighten the front leg, bend your back knee, lowering into like a lunge where you're up a little bit higher, or into Skandasana. Dig your right heel into the ground. Now from here, if you're in like a higher lunge, just lower your hands down, spin toward the back of your mat and keep spinning around, bringing that left foot behind you, opening up wild thing. Then come all the way back, stepping your back foot forward, spin your feet, coming back into warrior two. Reach back, reverse your warrior. And cartwheel your arms, step back, down dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, step forward into warrior two. Open up. Reverse your warrior. And straighten your front leg. Bend the back leg, coming into, like you could come into a medium side lunge or all the way down into Skandasana. Let's take a few breaths here. And then we'll twist over toward the right, pick your right leg up, send it behind you, wild thing, open up. Nice, bring the top hand down, step the back foot forward and spin around, coming back into warrior two. Reverse your warrior and cartwheel the arms, step back into down dog. Let's do that same sequence again, so it'll be a little more familiar to you. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, step your foot forward. Rotate the back heel open. Find your warrior two. Reach back to reverse your warrior. And straighten the front leg, bend your back knee, coming into a squat, maybe with your hands down or lower down a little bit further, coming into your Skandasana. Make any little adjustments that feel good to you. And then we're going to spin around, bring the left foot up behind you, open up wild thing. Bring your left hand down, step the left foot forward, spin around so your right foot is facing the front of the mat. Come on back up into warrior two. Reverse your warrior. And cartwheel your arms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step forward, warrior two. Expand in your warrior two. Finding an openness and a sense of freedom. Reach back, reverse your warrior. Come back to warrior two, straighten your front leg, come down into any kind of squat, staying up about halfway or lowering all the way down. Then we're going to spin to the right. Put weight into your left hand, bring the right leg around behind you for wild thing. And then come on back, step the right foot forward, keep spinning around. And come back into warrior two. Reverse your warrior. And cartwheel your arms, step back, down dog. And stretch out nice and long in your down dog. And bring your knees down, widen them apart. Sit back on your heels in child's pose. You could come up onto your fingertips here. You could lift your shoulders. You could engage your fingers, engaging the arms. And from here, we're going to come into Wild Thing. So just slide your hands back, lift your knees up, stretch your left leg back, and then the right leg back. Step your left foot behind you, open up Wild Thing. And make your way back into your child's pose. From here, lift up, stretch your right leg back, stretch your left leg back, step your right foot behind you, open up Wild Thing. And back to tabletop. Begin to move your spine. And maybe circle around your hips. Reverse the circles. Tuck your toes, sit back on your heels, coming into a squat. And lower your hips all the way down. Maybe wiggle your way back onto the mat and reach your legs up, reach your arms forward. Maybe grab your feet or your ankles or your calves. And bend your knees. Slowly lower all the way to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. Then shift your hips to the right. Open your arms out to the side. Twist your legs to the left. Stay here, or extend your right leg, grabbing your foot with your hand or your ankle or your calf or even the back of your leg. Wiggle your left leg back, and then you have the option to bend your knee, reach for your foot, and stay here in this beautiful twist. If you were holding your left foot, release it. Open your right arm back out to the side and make your way back onto your back. Center your hips on the mat. Give your foot a nice massage. I mean, really, you cannot massage your foot enough. Now release your foot, hug your knees into your chest, and shift your hips to the left. Open your arms out to the side. Twist over to your right. And stay here, or you could extend your left leg to the right, extend your right leg toward the bottom of your mat. Stay here, or bend your right knee, reach for your foot with your hand. Just relax here. Just a few more breaths here. Release your right foot if you're holding it, and slowly come back onto your back. Center your hips. Give your left foot a nice massage. And bend both knees, hug both knees into your chest. And find your happy baby. Just gently rock from side to side. And come back to center. And just a short little savasana. So stretch your legs out. Maybe bring your feet a little wider apart and just wiggle your feet in and out. Feeling that movement go all the way into your hips. And just let everything relax. Begin to bring some movement into your body, or if you want to stay here longer, feel free to do a longer savasana. And you can bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. And either roll to your side to come up, or you could do a little rock to come up. Thank you for joining me in this practice. I hope that you tapped into your wild side and found maybe a little bit more opening and freedom throughout your whole body. I would love it if you'd leave me a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends, and see you again soon. Bye.